I mean, I remember just like yesterday, it was like the end of the world. The whole ground was just pulled out from under me.
I'm there all by myself. My parents aren't there, no support.
I was standing in the courtroom and the judge sentenced my brother and I to life.
I got so weak in my knees and I just buckled down to the floor.
I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone,
I remember my hands being shackled.
traveling on this bus.
I didn't look at any scenery. My mind was just still in disbelief.
You see these walls and they just like the highest walls you ever seen in your life.
That wall is intimidating.
And they slammed that door and I knew that I was locked in.
Probably the most fear I've ever felt in my life.
My mind is like, wow, this is real. I'm going to die here. I'm sentenced to life in prison. How was I going to get through it? Music was everything on the inside. I mean, everything. It was my whole 37 years. I don't know where I would be without music. Most human beings that are on the inside, they're hungry for attention, for that worth. Like what I was in prison for, that doesn't define who I am today. When Shining Light came in to our prison, getting up on that stage, it felt like I was somebody, that people were going to see me for who I was and what I loved to do. It felt like I was home.
So in the beginning, the idea was to bring in professional artists in theater, dance, spoken word, and vocal music. And they would lead teams and guide teams in a process to perform in a full-length 60-minute production. We would bring in our tractor trailer full of sound and lighting and staging. We would bring in our professional band. Yes, it was ambitious, and yes, no one had done this before, to bring in all of this equipment, but nobody said no, so we just kept doing it. The first time these folks come into the gym, when they see all this equipment set up, they cannot believe that this is in their space.
I didn't think I was going to ever see a stage ever again.
To see the interaction between them and their peers who were in the audience was really special, because now they had a connection.
People that I never even knew could sing. They were singing. People that you wouldn't even know that they had a tongue were writing poetry and reading and expressing themselves.
And there was now a new connection that was being built, that was built on something positive. And that's what we kept hearing then from the wardens, was that you've changed this place because people are talking about something positive now.
You could see people just had like a different outlook on doing time in that dark, ugly place.
This was really having an impact, and the participants were experiencing a new level of dignity, of purpose, creativity. Then it started to become, what more could they do? And how can we empower them to continue to make an impact in their own facility?
You know, when you go to prison, you're a number. CN 2067, you know, it's imprinted in my head. And that's what I was for all those years. That is like the worst feeling ever, because you're not a person anymore. But once I got involved with the arts, then I became Mr. Horton, or I became Lee. Then I became the person who wrote the play.
Through the workshop, the participants would find that not only did they have like creative interests and abilities, but also, I really like to write, or I can communicate, or navigate discussions well. Once you realize that you have skills to bring, you have something to offer, now there's something to live for. Now there's something to contribute. And that's the purpose that is missing in prison.
In a typical program, they're all focused on trying to get you to stop doing something. Shine a light looks for what you can do right, or what you have right in you, or what you know how to do that's right. It gives you that confidence that you can do something in your life besides commit a crime. But you first have to see that you have a human being in front of you.
So Shining Light's goal is to equip individuals to be successful in re-entering society. It's more about people moving toward their fullest potential at the end of the day. Human potential is a complicated thing, and it looks so different for everyone. Luckily, there's some frameworks out there that you can use.
When people ask me about the class, it's hard to kind of prepare them what to expect for, because it seems to reveal itself to different people in different ways.
The character strength spotting. And that's what caught me.
I love the strength spotting. Every day they talk about where they're at, kind of one word to describe where they're feeling that day, and then a strength they spotted in themselves and others.
Strength spotting allows me to say, you know what? I did a very good job. I used this skill. I used creativity. I used perseverance. I used zest.
It teaches them to always be hunting the good stuff. So finding the positive within themselves. It builds optimism, and optimism builds resilience.
Okay, wow. All right, maybe that guy in the mirror isn't as bad as I thought he was. Maybe there's more to him than what I knew, and I'm only finding that out because I actually took that first step.
Art can be whatever you need it to be to get you to that end point. It can be where you start. It can be how you start to develop. It can be the bridge that helps fill the gaps that you've had in your life.
That's kind of like the secret part of me, because you can't be a big guy in prison, you know, with my history and be into poetry, you know, or so I thought before this.
I loved the creative writing.
I mean, we were doing like limericks, and we were doing all these funny things with words, and I've always liked to read. You know, I've always wanted it, I just didn't know where to get it. And so it's like this little seed gets planted, and now things are happening.
To have a voice, to have someone listen to your voice is huge in here.
And I'm like, me? Like, you want to hear what I got to say? You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, dude, like, you really helped me.
I'm still writing poetry, but now I'm sharing them.
I think most people would be surprised to find that people inside are just like humans, and they're figuring out life just like we are.
Most of us who were in prison, we've gone through generational traumas. A lot of our habits, our behaviors, our characters learned. It's not really who we are, but it's the only person that we know to be. So when I learn what my real strong suits are, then I'm able to transform myself into that person that I should be, or that I'm supposed to be.
That's the character development piece. It gives them the opportunity to change the lens in which they view themselves, which is a reflection of probably how they've been viewed most of their life.
It's just watching the cycle of people having that aha moment where they're like, oh, I am worth it. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can help others. I have a place here. It's an amazing thing to see.
To find people who are willing to put themselves out there and actually be open and honest and willing to participate in something that they've never done before. It's rarer in here, but it's also rare out there.
Like, we did a play. We actually wrote a script and performed a play actually at the end of it. Never in a million years did I see myself actually doing that. In the middle of it was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, it was terrifying.
I didn't know I was writing a play until it was done. It's because of the sequencing and the interaction with other people. It was just, we were just working on the same thing together, and before you know it, we were done.
So it's pretty crafty how she was able to kind of rope us into that. Such otherwise a daunting experience that we probably would have just been paralyzed with fear doing.
I don't think it was a case of it was a wonderful work of playwriting or anything like that. But it was unique in that every person was able to show who they were on some level in their character, because everybody developed their own. And that alone made the play.
Collaborating with others and seeing how it evolved into just this awesome thing at the end. I mean, I was like floating after that. It just made me feel so good.
Originally, when they first started talking about what they might do their plays on, the future, right? It gets them thinking about the future and what possibilities are out there for them when they leave, what they want for themselves when they leave. And then it creates that backwards planning piece, right? So if I want this when I leave, here are the things that I need to do to prepare myself for. Here are the things that I know that personally I need to work on. And hey, maybe you're really good at this, and I know that you're a mentor within the facility. I need you to help me grow here. And it makes the opportunity for those conversations to take place naturally and for those relationships to build.
Sometimes after some of our classes, I'll take whatever we've learned and I'll relate back to a situation that I've been through already. Like, that would have never happened had I been able to think like this or navigate through my thoughts or articulate the way I'm feeling like this, because I just didn't have this. I didn't have these tools, if you will. It's just like somebody hit the reset button.
Those are skills that they're going to be able to use throughout the rest of their life, as far as with their partner, with their kids, with their boss. It just helps in so many different aspects of life, as far as helping them connect to their mental health, helping them connect with their kids, helping them just find a place of calm and peace where they have a chance to look at what they're doing and be able to find different direction.
Going into prison, we have seen so many people who have experienced severe trauma in their lives or just made a poor choice once, and they spend years warehoused in a very oppressive environment that is not healthy for them, is not helping them become successful when they get out. And 95% of them will walk out of those doors to be our neighbors again. And rather than help them do that successfully and be a good neighbor, those years in prison tends to do the opposite, which really hardens the things that got them in trouble to start with.
We're really good at locking people up, but are we really good at releasing better people? My job is to try to provide opportunities for change, give people the opportunity to transform their lives, give them an opportunity to succeed. That should be what I'm judged on whether or not I'm doing well.
A lot of men come to prison broken, not believing in themselves, believing the only thing they can do is put a gun in their hand. This is what makes them somebody. But the difference is this, with Shining Light, it gives them hope. It helps them to see that they can be something better than being in somebody's prison.
In our programs, people discover their own potential, their potential for good, their potential to contribute to their community, inside and outside. And that's transformative, not only for their own life, but also for the people around them and the people that matter to them and their communities.
Nothing compared, and I've been there all those years, I'm telling you, nothing compared to Shining Light. I mean, not even by a hair.
We know it's working because wardens and administrators in the toughest prisons in the country are inviting us back over and over again.
Our partnership with Shining Light is a perfect example of being able to bring people from all over this country into our prisons and giving people that opportunity for hope and change, and from people who've lived it.
If we can change their direction from negative to positive now, why would we not utilize those avenues? If we can reach these men and change their mindset and also help make society safer in the process, then let's do it.
Who do I want my kids shopping next to? I want him next to the guy who's been involved in Shining Light. He's been mentoring others, he's been helping others, and now he gets to leave prison. And that's who I want our neighbors to be. And that should be the expectation for every prison.
We can unlock the human potential of those on the inside. We really can.
Our sole purpose as humans is to build other humans. It's to help each other. We all need to lean on somebody at some point in our life, and everybody just needs a little bit of grace.
I just didn't want it to be over. I just didn't want it to be done. I mean, this has had a pretty profound impact on me. And any way I can continue on with the material and with the program, I was eager to do that.
It starts to make you grow wings. It starts to make you feel like I can walk again. Like it starts to make you feel like you're a person.
You know, it starts out kind of tongue-in-cheek. You know, everything likes to poke fun and kind of, oh yeah, you're the shining light. You know, but the truth is, I think at the end, everyone's kind of come around and seen that this is the real thing. It's the real deal. So.